What's up, guys? It's your boy back here for a bit of an oxymoron of a video. More about that later. But gonna break this up into two different parts. Gonna have an update in the beginning and then some pickups at the end, and you'll kind of see why it's oxymoron. So let's just get into this. Sometimes life just force feeds you a shit sandwich, and unfortunately, that's the situation I find myself in. And to get on the road to redemption requires copious amounts of cash, basically. And, I have some liquid assets and a savings account, blah, blah, blah. But it's just not enough. So I'm faced with a dilemma. And I have to make some sacrifices. And obviously, hobbies are going to be the one thing that gets sacrificed. So I'm selling some of my collections. And as this video pertains to video games. So I'm going to sell about a third of my games. And hope to raise some money to get out of the situation that I am in. And I've already sold some stuff, and thanks to everybody that's already bought stuff. But the only reason I bring that up now is because you guys have been watching my videos for years. You know my collection pretty well. If there's an item that I have in my collection that you want, drop me a line, make me an offer. If it's reasonable, I'll probably take it. Now that said, not everything's up for grabs. There's some stuff that has sentimental value that I'm just not selling. I'm never going to sell my copy of Rule of Rose or any of the gifts that I've gotten over the years from TG Appalachius or from Bubs or any of the stuff I bought from McFly's 8-Bit Avenue or any of the stuff that McFly gave me in general. Stuff that my friends gave me, none of that's for sale. Games like Pocky and Rocky 1 and 2 that I've spent countless hours playing with my brother and stuff, not for sale. But beyond that, pretty much everything is fair game. So just drop me a line, make me an offer. You can hit me up through my Facebook Crack Lotus page, Twitter Crack Lotus page, or you can leave a comment on this video. Don't send me a private message on YouTube because I'll never, ever see it. So, that said, I do have to come up with a lot of money, but on the other end, I have bought some games. Obviously, I'm making a pickups video. Most of them are pre-orders, so it's been stuff that's either been paid off over a while or I've already started to pay off. But some stuff, it's just, if I find a good deal, I'm gonna grab it. I'm a collector. I collect things. So while I am, selling a good deal of my collection off, I do have some stuff to show, but it's not a lot, trust me. But let's get right into this with the stuff I've pre-ordered. Some stuff from limited run games. We have a Tim Schafer game, Broken Age. Not my favorite Tim Schafer game, but it's pretty good. I already played it when it was on PlayStation Plus for free. Gorgeous visuals, decent story. Kind of weird, but I like weird, so yeah, pretty good stuff. I think it also came out on the PS4 through limited run games, but I'm, prefer Vita, so of course I got it for the Vita. Demo, which is a rhythm game. I flirted with the idea of importing this a couple years ago. I'm glad I didn't, because obviously it came out through limited run games and got a North American release. Weird thing about this is on the cellophane, there's these stickers for the ESRB rating. I don't know what's up with that. Limited run games has never done that before, to my knowledge. Maybe they're getting a little more mainstream or something, or maybe it was at the request of the developer. Don't really know, but if you know, I'd like to know. And the game I'm currently playing, and is a contender for my game of the year because I think it's absolutely fascinating, is a word I can't pronounce, followed by the subtitle Mask of Deception. Again, this also came out on the PS4, but like I said, I prefer the Vita, especially for a game like this, because this is essentially a visual novel. But it kind of got advertised as a strategy RPG, and there's some strategy RPG elements, but it's essentially a visual novel. It's kind of like the game that came out on the PS3 a couple years ago that I can't remember what it's called, so now I wish I never brought it up. Shit! But that game was published by Atlas and also, I believe, developed by Aquapazza. But anyway, Aquapazza has their thumbprint on this, as well as Sting, and again, published by Atlas. Really, really weird game. The story is just batshit crazy and super, cringy weeboo shit, but I think it's crazy entertaining, and I absolutely love it. And it has gorgeous visuals, and I'm just enthralled with this game. Definite contender for Game of the Year. I got some 3DS stuff. First is Ever Oasis. I just finished this game a couple days ago, and it's kind of like a action RPG slash micromanagement town building type of game. It's kind of like a Rune Factory game, but totally different at the same time. But that would be the easiest thing to compare it to, I guess. Super saccharine, super cutesy, and chibi graphics, and on paper I should hate this game, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that I actually really enjoyed this game. I thought it was very, very, very entertaining. Published by Nintendo, it is a first-party game, but it was developed by OMGgamez or whatever. They've done a bunch of stuff with Nintendo in the past. I can see this being a sleeper. I think it's worth checking out if you can get over the cutesiness. And despite how it looks, it's not the easiest game in the world. I mean, it gets easier as it goes, really. I thought whatever. It's a lot of fun. I'd recommend it. It's never going to make my favorite games of all time list or anything, but it's one that I couldn't put down. Also got RPG Maker FES. I pre-ordered this the minute it came out. Well, not the minute, but I mean, I went to GameStop and plunked down my $5 and pre-ordered it. And that's what I like to do with pre-orders, because I like to put down $5 here and $5 there over time. I mean, I know in the end you still pay the same amount, but it just seems like a lot easier to just pay a little bit here and there than it is to just plunk down $40 every time you want a game. But I got this because, holy shit, you can share RPGs. You can download the games that people have made and play them on your 3DS. That's amazing. Gotta get that, right? Super excited about it. I get home, I read on the back that there's an app you can get on the eShop for free that you can do that. You don't even need to buy this game to play other people's games. You just need to buy the game to build games. But regardless, I still wanted to support it, and I think that that's what the RPG Maker series needed, was a way to be able to share games. And I've tried a few that people have made. Most of them sucked. One of them was pretty funny and I had a good time with, but it was really short, which I think is cool. But I think as time goes on, we're going to get some interesting stuff out of this. And I do imagine there will be a devoted following of this game, and people will, make a lot of content for this for years to come. I mean, some of the biggest indie games are, RPG Maker created. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. Also pre-ordered The Town of Light because it's a game about mental illness, and I just thought it sounded really weird and kind of bizarre. It was a budget title. It was only $20, and it looks like it has great atmosphere, and it's short. Walking simulator. I don't like that term, but I guess the easiest way to describe it. But it looks like it has great atmosphere, and it could be a lot of fun. So looking forward to checking this out. And the next 3 games I got from I don't want to say it's a pawn shop, because you can't buy your items back for, it's not like that type of store. It's like they just sell everything. You can take your shit there and they'll buy it, and then you can go there and buy stuff too. And it's pretty hit or miss because they blanket price all their games. And I mean, it's more like electronics. Like they have lots of TVs and tools and movies, but occasionally they have some decent games in there. And most of it's shit. But this past time I went in there and I found it was like I hit gold at this place. First is a PS3 game. I think their PS3 games are $4 or $5. And I think it might be $5 or 2 for $8. Regardless, I got Mayhem on the PS3, which is a destruction derby style game. Kind of looks like Mad World. It's all black and white, but it's cool. It's got 3D glasses. I don't know. I remember seeing this game a while ago at GameStop and being like, nah, I'm not gonna grab it. And I'd always been kicking myself because I'm like, man, I've never seen the game since. So when I saw this there, I just had to pick it up. It's probably worth about what I paid for it, but I just wanted it because it's kind of bizarre and I never see it. But then I found some good stuff. Fishing Resort for the Wii. Now, when I wanted my personal copy of this, I couldn't find one fucking anywhere. It looked high and low, and at that point, it was only like a $12 or $15 game. Now it's gone up, and then it's kind of gone back down and cooled off a little bit. I think you can get this game for like the $30 to $40 range now. The Wii games were $3, so yeah, of course I had to pick this up. So this, I got strictly to resell, but it is a cool game. I know, it's got Xseed on it, and it was, by the Yuji Naka, so it's got some kind of like hype around it for those reasons. But it's actually a game worth playing because it's really cool. It's a really fun and kind of unique game that could only really exist on the Wii, in my opinion. So I'd recommend it for playing, and it's a cool game to have. But I really like this game. I think it's one of the bright spots on the Wii, just as far as kind of quirky and cool. So Fishing Resort, really thrilled to get that for a good deal. And the best deal I got there, I think I paid $10 or $7 for this. Supremacy MMA Restricted. I have no interest in half-naked men kicking the shit out of each other, and I don't plan on playing this. I'd rather watch like fully naked women like hug each other. I think that'd be cooler than grown naked men beating the shit out of each other. I don't know why people like this, but this game, it came out on a bunch of stuff, and it's all worthless with the exception of the Vita. I think for a general release Vita game, this is the most expensive and most sought after, and it's selling for like 50, 60 plus complete, which is insane to me. So I get, it's the rarest general release Vita game to my knowledge. So, not like a limited or special, just a general release. This is the hardest to find and commands the most money, which blows my mind. So this I got to sell. I have no plans of keeping this. Maybe I'll keep it. No, I probably won't. But it is really weird, and I don't know. It is what it is. And now into the stuff that I got. Some more retro-ish stuff. First, I just don't know if I've ever shown this before. I was going through my GBA games because I had to get out a game that I was selling to somebody. So I had to ship it out, and I saw this, and I couldn't remember if I'd ever talked about it. It's Spirits and Spells on the Game Boy Advance. This is a game that also came out on the GameCube, and when I was looking to pick it up, I was looking to pick up a GameCube copy because it was kind of going up in value. It was getting to be like the $20 mark, and it was more desirable than the GBA version. But I happened to get both for a great deal. I think I paid like $20 for the GameCube version and like $12 for the Game Boy Advance version, like shipped. And I was looking up the prices because I thought for sure the GameCube version would have gone up exponentially. GameCube version's pretty much cooled down and stayed the same, but this, the GBA version, holy shit. Card-only copies like $35 plus now. I can't even find a complete copy anywhere. Amazon, eBay, anything. And I have no idea what they're selling for because I can't find any. That said, the reason I bring this up is I could totally see this being a game that's just sitting at mom and pop shops, like still sealed on a dusty shelf full of like old GBA games somewhere. So keep an eye out for this one because I was dumbfounded by the price fluctuation on how much, or the price increase on this. Really, really crazy to me. But it's a pretty decent game. The Game Boy and GBA ones play totally different. This is a side scroller. But they're both based on Halloween, and they both have, two playable characters, the same characters, but this, like I said, is a side scroll, and the GameCube one's more 3D, kind of like Crash Bandicoot style or something. But yeah, cool games nonetheless, and I just wanted to talk about that real quick because I thought it was so weird. This is one I got from eBay, Pieces. I've been looking for this game for a while. I can't find it locally anywhere, and one came up on eBay for auction, and I decided to just kind of throw a low bid in and see what happens, and I won, and I couldn't believe it because it's a pretty low bid. I think it was like $20, and then I had to pay shipping. So thrilled with that. It's actually a pretty fun game for multiplayer. I'd recommend it. The only thing that really bothers me about this game is it's like a puzzle game, and they could have used anything for the pictures and the puzzles, and they used the most boring drivel. So that was kind of disappointing. Next, definitely the coolest things here. Just got this one for $4.95. $4.99, excuse me. Holy shit. Got the receipt right here. $4.99. This was mixed in with all the the cheapest PS1 games they had at the store were $4.99, and it is Battle Sport. And this also came out on the Saturn, and the Saturn copy's well over $100 now. And it used to be the PlayStation copy was really cheap, and the Saturn copy was really expensive. And the Saturn copy is still really expensive, but the PlayStation copy is getting up there in price. Like, I only saw 2 North American copies of this on eBay complete, and I think one they wanted like $50, and one the seller was asking like $130 or something. and then there was one loose copy, disc only, for like $70. So the prices are kind of all over the place, but you know, of course I was going to pick it up for that price. This is something, again, I will be reselling because I hear it's a pretty terrible game, but yeah, thrilled to find that. Great deal. And this one I also found for a killer deal here. Got this for $60, and this is In the Hunt. This I'm not selling. Now, In the Hunt, the long box version, I think is about an $80 game. But I was talking to Bubs, and I asked him if the jewel case variant is you know, more uncommon than the long box one, and he said absolutely, hands down, much harder to find. He's going for a complete jewel case variant subset, so he's kind of an expert in all things that. And I told him, I was like, hey, they got a copy here for $60. You think I should grab it? And he said, absolutely, no question. So pick that up. And interestingly enough, the case and manual and everything is like brand new condition, but there was some light scratches on the disc. But years ago, TG Appalachia sent me a disc-only copy that is minty, so I'll take the disc that TG sent me, put it in this case, and sell the disc-only copy, and you know, end up doing pretty well on this. So really cool, and it's cool to put the disc copy that TG gave me to good use and find a home for it. So really happy with how that worked out. So guys, that is all my pickups. I said it, you know, it's not a lot for obvious reasons. And like I said, if you guys are interested in anything I have in my collection, you know, barring a few things that were given to me by my friends and stuff, drop me a line, man. We'll see if we can work something out. If not, that's cool too. Hope you guys are having a great 4th of July, and be safe out there. I've already seen a fucking whole bunch of drunk people. I was at the store, and this guy was coming in with a propane tank. He brings a propane tank into a store, right? He's like, "Should I got fill with a propane tank?" And the dude was fucking hammered, and he drove himself there with a propane tank. And I'm like, this guy's like a drunk bomb on wheels, like wielding a fucking propane tank around in a public space. I'm like, I gotta get out of here before we all fucking go kaboom. So definitely seen some drunk people around, guys. Be careful out there, and I'll see you next time.